Do you actually know what your cat is trying to communicate every single time they choose to sleep beside you? Because this isn't just something cute or a random coincidence. Behind that small nightly ritual lies a deep emotional language that most cat owners never fully decode. Your cat has been sending you messages night after night, and if you don't know how to read them, you might be missing one of the most sincere forms of connection that exists between an animal and a human being. In this video, we're going to break down every signal, every sleeping position, and every behavior so you can finally understand exactly what's happening when your cat settles in next to you before closing their eyes. If you want to truly understand your cat, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. Every week, we post content for people who don't just own cats, but actually want to understand them on a deeper level. The first big revelation is this: your cat is not sleeping with you because they're cold. I know that might sound strange, but stay with me. Cats are remarkably resourceful when it comes to finding warm spots. The afternoon sun streaming through the window, the top of a warm rooter, laundry fresh out of the dryer, any heated surface is a perfectly valid option for them. If warmth were the only thing they needed, they would never specifically seek out a person as their resting place. And yet, there they are, night after night, walking right past every cozy corner in the house and climbing into bed with you. So why do they do it? Because sleep is the moment when a cat becomes completely and utterly vulnerable. Their most primitive instincts, the ones engraved into their DNA over millions of years of evolution, are screaming at them to find somewhere hidden, somewhere unreachable, somewhere no threat could ever get to them. And yet, that same cat walks deliberately toward you, a creature 15 times their size, and decides to close their eyes right beside you. That has absolutely nothing to do with temperature. That is a declaration of unconditional trust. Research in the field of animal cognition has shown that cats develop emotional bonds with their owners that closely mirror the attachment patterns human infants form with their caregivers. In other words, when your cat chooses to fall asleep with you, they are telling you something that no meow could ever express. They are telling you that you are the only place in the world where they can completely let their guard down. Now, there is something equally revealing that happens right before your cat drifts off to sleep, and most people witness it without ever understanding what it means. Have you ever noticed how your cat rubs their head or body against you before settling in? That is not a random, affectionate gesture. It is pure biology. Cats have scent glands located along their cheeks, forehead, and the base of their tail. When they rub against something or someone, they are depositing invisible markers, a biological signature that essentially says, "This belongs to me." But the truly fascinating part happens when that contact continues throughout sleep. By resting directly against you, your cat is not simply marking you anymore. They are merging their scent with yours. In wild cat communities, members of the same group share a collective scent. That shared fragrance is the signal that tells them who is an ally and who is a stranger. It is their oldest way of saying, "We are family." When your cat does this with you night after night, they are carrying out an ancient ritual. They're incorporating you into their group, their inner circle, their world of trust. This is also why, when you come home after spending time somewhere unfamiliar, your cat sniffs you with such focused intensity that it almost feels like an investigation. What is actually happening is that your scent has shifted. You have lost part of the shared smell, and that night, when they curl up against you, they will be quietly restoring what was missing. But here's something that surprises almost everyone. Your cat genuinely believes they are protecting you. As unlikely as it seems given their size, that small domestic feline still carries the instincts of a predator. And predators understand threats better than anyone. When your cat selects their spot on the bed, that choice is not made on a whim. It is strategic. In wildcat colonies, members take turns keeping watch while others rest. It is a survival code that has been operating for thousands of years, and your cat has not forgotten it. Pay close attention to where they position themselves. If they sleep facing the door, they are monitoring the entry point. If they prefer to be near your head, they are guarding your most vulnerable area. It does not matter that they live in a safe apartment and have never faced any real danger. In their mind, they have a mission, and every single night they show up to carry it out. Speaking of positions, each one carries a very specific meaning that is worth understanding. The cat that sleeps curled into a tight ball, with their paws tucked in and their tail wrapped around their body, is adopting the most defensive posture that exists. They are shielding their vital organs, minimizing their exposed surface, and maintaining a quiet internal alert. If your cat always sleeps this way, even when they are next to you, it means they trust your presence but still carry a thin layer of caution. That is not a problem. It is simply their particular way of processing safety. The cat that sprawls out completely, legs stretching in every direction, and perhaps even lying on their back with their belly exposed, is communicating something entirely different. The abdomen is the most delicate area of a cat's body, the one they instinctively protect above everything else. Voluntarily exposing it means they have completely switched off their internal alarm system. That cat does not just trust you. They have concluded that in your presence, nothing bad can happen to them. It is the highest possible expression of feline inner peace. And what about the cat that sleeps with their back turned to you? Many people interpret this as indifference, or even a subtle form of rejection. But in the language of cats, turning your back on someone while you sleep is actually a sign of deep trust. It means they feel no need to watch you, that you pose absolutely no threat, that they can leave their blind spot facing your direction without any concern. In their own way, that is a compliment. And then there is the cat that sleeps literally pressed against you, tucked between your legs, pushed up against your back, or wedged into the curve behind your knees. That cat is sending the strongest message of all. They want to eliminate every last inch of distance between you. That is not clinginess or insecurity. That is devotion in its purest form. There's another phenomenon that few owners consciously notice, but it is just as powerful. Cats are naturally crepuscular animals, meaning their biological rhythm drives them to be most active at dawn and dusk, which is when their wild ancestors hunted. In theory, their schedules should not align with ours at all. And yet, cats that live in close contact with people do something that defies their own biology. They adjust their sleep and wake cycles to synchronize with their owners. Studies on domestic cat behavior have confirmed that these animals stay awake longer during the day and sleep more deeply at night, not because it is natural for them, but because that is when you are present. Think about that for a moment. Your cat is rewriting thousands of years of evolution simply to share more time in your world. That is why they appear right before your alarm goes off or greet you at the door when you arrive home. It is not coincidence. It is deliberate synchronization born entirely from the bond they have built with you. What your cat is also doing while they sleep beside you goes far beyond what most people imagine. They are reading you emotionally, in real time. Have you ever had an exhausting or overwhelming day, and notice that your cat suddenly became unusually attentive, staying close, refusing to leave your side, seeming to sense that something was off, that is not your imagination. Science has begun confirming what cat owners have felt for years. Your cat can detect subtle changes in your behavior, your body language, and even your internal chemistry. When you experience stress or anxiety, your body releases cortisol, and that alters your scent, changes your breathing, and shifts your movement patterns. Your cat picks up on every single one of those signals without you saying a single word. They may not understand the reason for your distress, but they know with absolute certainty that something in you has changed. This is why some cats become noticeably more affectionate when their owner is ill, grieving, or going through a difficult period. They are not simply being sweet out of social instinct. They are responding to real information you are transmitting without realizing it, and sleeping beside you gives them continuous access to that information. Your heart rate, your restlessness, your breathing patterns. Over time, they learn what your baseline feels like. And when something deviates from that pattern, they notice it before anyone else around you does. That is exactly why, when a cat who has always slept with you suddenly stops, it deserves your genuine attention. Cats are creatures of deeply rooted habits. When they break a pattern this significant, there's always a reason behind it. In some cases, the cause is physical. Pain, illness, or physical discomfort can lead a cat to seek solitude, since by instinct they tend to isolate themselves when they are not feeling well. If your cat is older and this change happens suddenly, scheduling a veterinary visit is always a wise decision. In other cases, the cause is environmental. The arrival of a new pet, a shift in household routines, or even a rearrangement of furniture can disrupt your cat's sense of security in ways that feel invisible to you, but enormous to them. And sometimes the reason is purely emotional. Cats have memory. If something frightened them in the bedroom, or if they associated that space with a negative experience, they may pull away as a form of self-protection. They are not being difficult or moody. They are communicating through the only language available to them. What you should always carry with you is this: your cat chose to be close to you during the moment when they are most exposed. That was never a small gesture to them, and it should not be a small one to you either. Pay attention to their changes, respond to their signals, and protect that bond with the same quiet seriousness with which they choose you every single night as their safest place in the world. If this video helped you understand your cat on a deeper level, give it a like right now and subscribe so you never miss what comes next. Drop a comment below telling us how your cat sleeps and where they always end up on the bed. We read every single one,